How to get rich without renting your time. Have you ever calculated the maximum hours you could possibly work in a lifetime? Even at 80 hours a week with no vacations, your income has a hard ceiling. You're renting your time, and time is finite. Naval Ravikant asks a different question. Is there a way for money to keep coming in even when you're not working? This deck answers exactly that, the physics of wealth, equity, and the rules of the infinite leverage game. The trap of linear time. Ever wonder why highly paid doctors and lawyers, people who work incredibly hard, still can't seem to build real wealth? The answer is simple. Their income is directly tied to their hours. There are only 24 hours in a day, and that's your ceiling. Naval's point is blunt. As long as your input directly determines your output, your wealth is permanently capped. Stop working, and the money stops too. Get sick, go on vacation, retire, the income disappears. No matter how high the salary, if you're replaceable, your story is identical to everyone who sat in that seat before you. The moment you stop, everything stops. You are not going to get rich renting out your time. Redefining money versus wealth. Most people confuse two very different things, earning more money and building wealth. They are not the same. Money is a social IOU for past value you've created, a tool for transferring wealth and storing credits for time spent. Money alone doesn't make you more money. Wealth, on the other hand, is the thing that earns while you sleep. Businesses, autonomous software, media assets, investments working 24/7. Wealth is an army that doesn't need you present to do its job. The most important line, the purpose of wealth is freedom. Not mansions or cars. It's never having to sacrifice your time for someone else's schedule again. The purpose of wealth is freedom. It's so you don't have to wear a tie like a collar around your neck. Disconnecting inputs from outputs. This is the most central concept in Naval's wealth framework and the most overlooked. Imagine two people, a lumberjack and a software engineer. The lumberjack gets paid per tree. No matter how skilled, the best lumberjack in the world is only about 3x better than the worst. That's the linear world. The software engineer? The code he writes can serve 1 million users simultaneously. The link between his input and output has been severed. A single great engineer can write a protocol worth billions of dollars. That's the exponential world. True wealth creation happens in professions with high creativity and high leverage. Which world are you operating in? The secret engine, leverage. Archimedes said, "Give me a lever long enough and a place to stand, and I will move the earth." Naval says in the modern world, this statement is still true, just in a different form. Every great fortune has leverage behind it. Leverage is a force multiplier. It allows your judgment to operate at a scale that's otherwise impossible. The same decision without leverage might be worth $1,000. With leverage, it could be worth 100 million. In a leveraged world, hard work alone is no longer the most important variable. Judgment is. Your job is to attach your judgment to the biggest lever you can find. Fortunes require leverage. In the modern era, leverage is the ultimate force multiplier for your judgment. The 3 ages of leverage. Leverage isn't new, but its forms have evolved, and today's version is the most democratic in history. The oldest leverage is labor, managing people, amplifying your reach through human effort. The problem, it's messy, high friction, and requires people to choose to follow you. The 20th century's dominant leverage was capital, managing money, scales beautifully, but requires someone to fund you. Then comes the present. The 21st century's leverage is code and media, zero marginal cost of reproduction. Serving the millionth customer costs exactly the same as serving the second, 0. And the crucial difference, this leverage is permissionless. No one needs to approve you. No boss, no banker, no publisher required. You can start today. The magic of permissionless leverage. Think about the last time you wanted to do something but had to wait for someone else's approval. Waiting for a boss, convincing an investor, hoping a publisher would say yes. That gate used to be locked. Naval says that gate is now open, and it's open for everyone. No one needs to choose you. You can write code, record a podcast, publish content without asking anyone's approval. This is the greatest equalizer of our time. Before, you needed to know the right people or have enough capital to enter the game. Now, the only ticket is whether you're willing to start. No one needs to choose you. No boss, no banker, no publisher. This is the great equalizer of our time. The army of robots in the cloud. Imagine owning an army. They need no salary, never sleep, never complain, and work 365 days a year without a break. Could you afford that? Previously, no, but now you already have one. Your servers are your employees. Your code, your articles, your videos, each one is a robot working for you, making money while you're gone. Serving the millionth customer costs exactly the same as serving the second, 0. And Naval says this is the most egalitarian form of wealth creation in human history. In the past, reach and income required massive capital and manpower. Now, one person, one laptop, one good idea, and you can reach the entire world. The foundation, specific knowledge. You now know to use code and media to build leverage. But what does leverage amplify? Your specific knowledge. And what exactly is that? It's not the kind of skill you can learn in a classroom. If it can be trained, it can be replaced. Specific knowledge lives at the intersection of 3 circles: what you love to do, what society wants, and what can't be taught in school. The simplest test: if something feels like play to you, but looks like work to everyone else, that's your specific knowledge. Society pays the highest premium for things it wants, but doesn't yet know how to get. Find that intersection and go deep. Specific knowledge feels like play to you, but looks like work to others.
The risk. Embrace accountability. This is the slide a lot of people don't want to sit with. To have massive upside, you have to be willing to take real risk under your own name. Look at the hierarchy of risk and reward. Employees are the safest, but their upside is capped. Debt holders get a fixed return, nothing more. Equity holders take the ultimate risk. They get paid last, but in exchange, they get unlimited upside. Naval says, when you embrace accountability, society rewards you with responsibility, equity, and leverage. Put your name on the line. Take real business risks. That's not recklessness. It's the entry fee. Nobody got rich taking risks under someone else's name. When you embrace accountability, society rewards you with responsibility, equity, and leverage. The multiplier. Judgment. Once you have leverage, you'll notice something. Hard work is no longer the most important variable. Direction is. Imagine operating at 1000x leverage. You make a decision, and your accuracy goes from 80% right to 90% right. Seems like a small jump, but magnified by 1000x leverage, that 10% difference could be worth hundreds of millions of dollars. So judgment is the most valuable currency in the age of leverage. And where does judgment come from? It requires free time and a calm mind. You can't make clear decisions when you're constantly anxious, busy, and exhausted. Protecting your thinking space means protecting your most valuable asset. Hard work matters, but direction matters more. Escape the competition trap.
Why are most people fighting in a hyper-competitive market, scraping over the same slice of pie? Because they're defining their own value by someone else's definition. Naval gives us a formula: specific knowledge plus accountability times infinite leverage equals productizing yourself. The first half is you, your unique obsessions, your name, your willingness to take risk. The second half is amplification, permissionless code and media scaling you to the infinite. When you're entirely authentic to your unique obsessions and apply permissionless leverage, no one can compete with you. Because competition only exists when you're the same kind of person as someone else. Become completely yourself, and you've already won. When you are entirely authentic to your unique obsessions and apply permissionless leverage, no one can compete with you. The new definition of retirement. What do you think retirement means? Moving into a care home at 65 and waiting for time to pass? Naval says that definition is long expired. Retirement isn't an age or a number. Retirement is the moment you stop sacrificing today for an imaginary tomorrow. There are 3 paths to get there. 1. Your passive income exceeds your burn rate. 2. You drive your lifestyle desires down to 0. 3. You find something you love so much it no longer feels like work. You don't have to wait until 65. You can start moving toward one of those 3 paths today. The most important thing is to stop living in "I'll deal with it later" mode, because later might never come. Retirement is when you stop sacrificing today for an imaginary tomorrow. The Wealth Playbook. Productize yourself. Finally, Naval condenses the entire framework into 3 sentences, the cleanest action guide he has for this era. First, own equity. Stop just trading time for money and start owning a piece of what you're building. Second, seek permissionless leverage. Use code and media to make your impact independent of your hours. Third, trust your judgment. Invest in your own thinking. Protect your mental clarity. Put all 3 together and it becomes one phrase: productize yourself. Your knowledge, your voice, your perspective, they're not just skills, they're assets that can scale, replicate, and work while you sleep. Starting today, treat yourself as a product worth investing in. Own equity, seek permissionless leverage, trust your judgment, productize yourself.